See if the Fist of Fury is. Oh, so Fist of Fury starts like this.
Oh wow! I'm just so glad they're using the original Golden Harvest. Yeah, this is the way
I
it's
think I
meant to
just
be
put them on.
seen. Even the intro looks different. God, I just wish more people showed the Mandarin versions. They're either showing the Cantonese or mostly the English. It's like, dude, get rid of those and just play the Mandarin. That's the original language.
You ever seen, in Mr. Bean where he's got that fucking when he goes to walk into the in the movie and he's got that plane ticket on. I should do that to people who haven't got the like, like somebody's walking around like Mandarin cut.
Or like Wayne, remember Wayne and Garth where they go to the Alice Cooper concert, like pointing the VIP to everybody. Just do the same thing.
Do the same thing with that movie, yeah. Or just like cause just like walking around with the actual box set like it's precious, just like hey Dean, how's it going? Hey, you want to watch Bruce Lee?
You can imagine somebody taking it from you, like, dude, there's no disc in there, bitches.
Yeah, man, it is a nice box set. Yours like covers look a lot different actually. Some of them
Yeah.
look really cool.
I like the yellow cover, the yellow box set. I do like the cover of the Mandarin uncut version. It's like yellow and black. You know,
Yeah, it's pretty cool though.
yeah, I like that presentation better than that one.
Yeah, I like the cut. I mean, these are pretty cool as well. I quite
Oh
like that
God, that's
Bruce
just
Lee.
yeah. I that those art pieces remind me of B Num's art pieces of Bruce
Well, the
Lee.
Mandarin cut looks a bit different. It's just that on it, but yeah, it's pretty cool still.
Yeah, have you seen B Num? Remember B Num's work?
Is he the artist? Yeah, I think I do
Yeah,
remember him. Yeah.
like his was like the best I've ever seen. I remember he offered me one time. He had a painting of Bruce Lee and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar from like where Bruce Lee does the jump sidekick to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, like in his like in his shorts with no shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did an oil painting of that. And it was just fucking spectacular. But yeah, he told me, he said, yeah, if you want, I could, if you want it, just I can send it to him. Like, sure, I mean, I didn't want to push, but he never got back to me on that. But yeah. That would have been so nice to have on my wall. Jesus, that cover is so cool too.
I know they're really nice. Yeah, and
Oh man,
I like that they added that into it as well. Though
yeah,
the
the
original
the original posters.
posters.
Yeah,
Yeah, because like when I was showing you it, I'd only took a quick glimpse, and then like I put it down and I think I made myself a drink. But then when I spoke to you that first time, I didn't notice. You just got to be really careful with the corners of these when you put them in, because I've like damaged them a little bit actually.
and what's
You got to
really
be quite
cool
careful
too
with
is
them.
like I was saying earlier, is when you show me the Way of the Dragon in the very beginning, they actually showed the original Concord logo,
I know, yeah,
and
it's
all of them
cool.
have the original Golden Harvest. I also like the fact that they, because like I was saying in my DVD, in my Bruce Lee box set, the Ultimate Collection, like they'll show the title Way of the Dragon, but then they'll say AKA Return of the Dragon on it. Here they don't have that at all. It's just pure, which is great.
And I've never really had like collectibles like this with Bruce Lee. I've got like a couple of box sets, a couple of DVDs, and then that Bruce Lee figure, but I've never had like stuff like this. These pictures, it looks like you could have actually went like you took them yourself.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, I was on the set of the Fist of Fury. I took these photographs myself. They're like the old photographs when you take pictures and then you get them developed. Like that's the actual quality of them. They're really nice. I might take a picture of that and put it up on the Bruce Lee group.
Mm,
That one because it's really good. It's a
yeah.
different one I've never seen. I remember that one from what do you call it, Curse of the Dragon, where he like zooms in and like he's got that guy talking about him and he's like yeah, it goes into the camera
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah, but it's a similar shot. I don't know if it's the exact same, but I think some of these photos are like quite rare because I've never seen like that one there. I don't recognize this one either.
Yeah.
I think quite a lot of these are quite rare because I've never seen quite a lot of them.
I wonder if Steve Carriage had anything to do with that. Providing those photos.
Yeah, like some of these are awesome. Like they had the hair tests. Like that's how they were originally going to have Bruce's hair in the movie, but every time they were doing fight scenes and stuff, it just kept getting messed up his hair. So they just kept his hair the way it was. But he did originally, like in the first shots of the movie, in the credits, and he's there. You see him like doing all the shots, and his hair's all gone. Bay Logan spoke about it because he's met people that worked on the movie and that, and they said, yeah, originally we were going to have Bruce's hair looking all like the way it was, but then because after every fight scene and all the shit he was doing, his hair was just like a mess. So they were just like, yeah, just keep your hair the way it is, and make it a lot easier. So they would have to have kept fixing his hair and stuff after like every shot and stuff. So they just said, yeah, just leave your hair. Which a lot of people don't know that he originally was supposed to have his hair different in Fist of Fury.
I'm glad
They
it
were
changed.
all the shots.
I'm glad it changed to what it became.
Yeah, because his hair looks pretty cool in Fist of Fury. There's a promotional picture there with him and Bob Baker, and I think his hair's even in that kind of style. It might be quite hard for you to
Yeah.
see, but
Yeah, when they did those establishing shots, I do remember him hair being the way it was originally.
I'm trying to put these in without like wrecking the corners. It's really hard. There we go. Yeah, there's a couple of people that got their box sets, by the way, like the corners and stuff were a bit damaged, so got to be careful with that. I mean, if it happens, it happens. Like with mine, I was very lucky it didn't happen to mine, but a lot of people, like the corners of the boxes were like all fucked up and stuff. But mine turned out all right when it got here, so.
Yeah, had I known that the 4K also was region free, I would have gotten that one instead. I just got the yellow one because I thought that was the only box set that was region free.
The other one's nice though. I like it, man. I think some of the covers in the other one are actually a lot nicer than the.
Yeah.
I don't know. That is a nice box set. I just like to cut the front of that. When I first saw that with Ten Chow One on it, I was just like, oh. And I looked at the yellow one. I was just like, I'm really struggling here.
Yeah.
But when I was like on all three of them, I was looking at them. I was just like, well, I want the 4K one, but I was like, you know what, fuck it, just get the middle one.
Well, if I lived in Morecambe with you, if I was in the same city as you, I'd just do a trade. Like I'll give you my Mandarin uncut version.
See if the Fist of Fury is. Oh, so Fist of Fury starts like this.
Oh wow! I'm just so glad they're using the original Golden Harvest.
It's like, don't ruin it, dude. Don't fucking ruin it, dude. I'm just like, da, da, da. Oh shit, I ain't got the subtitles on.
Oh, you don't have to.
I want to see if they're actually any good, though.
Yeah. Yeah, this is the way it's
think I
meant
just
to be
put them on.
seen. Even the intro looks different. God, I just wish more people showed the Mandarin versions. They're either showing the Cantonese or mostly the English. It's like, dude, get rid of those and just play the Mandarin. That's the original language.
The camera picture quality is really
And
fucking nice.
his acting performance here is extremely underrated, dude.
Yeah, I know. Like, yeah, he was really good in this.
Oh my god, dude. There was like
I'm amazed how clear this looks. It's like a cinema, like you were saying. It's
yeah.
unreal.
God, on that screen too. Holy cow, man! It's like watching it in the theaters.
Am I too late? Oh, well, it's weird because I'm not used to this in Mandarin. I've only watched it one time in Mandarin. I'm used to this in Cantonese.
Yeah, and it's
I'm
actually
turn it up a little bit. Hold on.
it's and the subtitles are different from the Ultimate Collection version.
Yeah, I've noticed the subtitles are a tiny little bit different. I've noticed here and there.
God, with the nerve of this motherfucker, dude. And he fucking killed him too.
What did you say? Sorry.
I just said the nerve of this motherfucker. Like he killed him too, and he's just there, like
I know, yeah, just fucking get use an umbrella, take your fucking umbrella and fuck
And
off.
what a fucking intro, dude! What a way to start a movie. Like the way Bruce Lee just like, oh my god, dude. What a way to grieve somebody who just died. You just jump on the casket and just take out the soul.
I bet this is a treat for you because normally you're used to like a blue screen when I show you stuff.
Yeah, this is
It's actually in
nice.
colour for a change. And I haven't even changed the dynamic. Like I can put it into like the picture into movie
The one
mode
thing
and
that
change
always,
it.
the one thing that always stands out with the band is the I think the tuba. Oh,
Hmm.
oh. And I love that. It just
Yeah, man.
accommodates this part right here. Oh man, he should have
Oh
got
my
it.
god, this looks so different. I'm not used to seeing it this clear, and I'm not used to seeing it in Mandarin either.
And it's synced in perfectly too.
hmm Did notice that with Game with Way the Dragon. That other box set, that other Blu-ray box set I got away
Yeah.
the Dragon. The dubbing was off a little bit in Way the
Yeah.
Dragon, but this one's absolutely perfect. I checked it out because that was the first disc I wanted to check out, and it didn't work. I'm like, ah, fuck! So I had to like wait a whole day, pretty much. But I managed to check it out. But this always sounded really sore. Oof. If it was me, like, tell him to chill the fuck out and get him out of it.
Understood. I don't know if that's what they really said, but yeah, what an intro. What a way to start a freaking movie, dude.
oh, 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 oh,
Yeah,
oh,
that's great.
oh,
There's no AKA Chinese connection.
oh. I love the Chinese connection, man.
Oh, I can't believe in the remastered versions they actually have that's what's that like there's a guy singing the theme in English. No
Yeah, I
more
know.
hands.
I'm just gonna skip the.
Oh, and I love that do do
Ding
do.
dong ding.
I think you can do that on your guitar.
It just fucking disturbs them all and they all turn around. The fake teeth in his mouth.
It's so weird. Like,
Yeah, I wanted to see the fight, but yeah, here we go. I wanted to see some like. 'Cause it looks really smooth. I know the camera's probably not doing it much justice, but you want to see how good you are, mate? Well, I'll tell you what. I'll stick my finger up your nose. Huh? It won't fit.
oh,
我一个人就够你受了。
Imagine me, I'm like the worst cameraman in the world. Like, look, Scott.
I really do wonder though if the subtitle translations are exactly what they're saying in Mandarin.
Hmm. It might be, maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
Because some of them are different from my version, which is actually a lot more accurate in translation.
Yeah.
But I don't mean to. Yeah,
Well,
it's better than nothing. But
I don't see the translation on this Mandarin code. I wonder if that's going to be 100% like. 'Cause it's got Chinese. It's got. I think it's got Cantonese on the top and English on the bottom. And I showed you the intro.
oh jeez, I can.
I'm so glad they did not mess with the sounds on this one. It's
Me
so
too.
mono. It's like
Yeah, that was
they
my
haven't
first.
they have advanced the sound, but they haven't done anything like sound effects. Like the sound is like
Yeah, that was my
2.0.
first concern was the altered sound. I'm glad they left it alone.
They've left it alone, but they have updated the sound. They've made it sound a little bit more fresher, which is just great. It just makes it fucking the bass. Yeah, they've really done a really good job doing that.
Imagine
They
watching
did
this
take
for
a
the
look at
very first
they
time in the
basically took they've
theaters.
updated the old soundtracks basically and kept it original. There's none of this
Yeah.
weird.
Can you imagine watching this for the first time in the theaters in
I
1972?
know. It would have been unreal. My dad said he saw this, but I think he saw it after Bruce Lee died.
Yeah,
74.
because they all came out in 74.
Yeah, my dad's seen it a couple of years after. Yeah. So my dad said Bruce Lee was really famous after after he died. He
Oh,
became really
yeah.
popular. Yeah. It always makes me laugh.
Well, just like what they did with the Mandarin uncut version, it would have been cool if they added the original 35 millimeter reels where you had the Cantonese on the top and the
Right.
English on the bottom.
And then he gets up, and then Bruce Lee looks around. There's no nunchucks in. This is what happened. They cut it there, and then it just kind of went straight to like
Oh,
that
the
guy
UK
going.
version.
Yeah, it cut.
Oh,
It cut right here, and then it went to the guy going to grab like a stick, and he's like, "Oh!" And he's like, "Stop!" Like, yeah, you didn't see any of the.
God, that'd be
This was all fresh to me when I was 14 years old, and I seen all this for the first time. I was like, "Whoa!" I was like, "Whoa!" Because I was just mainly concentrating on the Way of the Dragon. Oh, there's somebody outside working.
I thought that was part of. I'm like, no, why did they add that to this? No.
Oof.
Like
I just have all the like.
When I went from Chinese Connection to this, I mean the sound effects are different here, so it took a while to get used to. It's like, wow, this is the original sound effects, and like right here in Chinese Connection, he goes ah, when he hits him, you know. But here he doesn't do that. It was just such a revelation just to know that the Chinese Connection was different from the original Fist of Fury, which is this one. I always thought this scene was so funny where he hits everybody in the feet. It just makes sense, you know.
Yeah, so that bit where I paused it before, that cut there, and then it cut to this bit here. All that nunchuck bit was cut, and it just cut to this bit here where he's about to get there. But you could see Bruce stood there with the nunchuck, kind of, because back then the screen was like cut like by like this much because it wasn't widescreen, it was a VHS. But like even getting to when I got the DVDs when I was like 14, even having it in widescreen was a treat because all my videos were like zoomed in a little bit.
Yeah, it was all modified, even for me on VHS.
Yeah, same here. Yeah, all my VHSs were like you were watching it kind of like this. You were missing out like all of this.
Yeah.
We're kind of watching it like really zoomed up, yeah. So but the Cantonese, but the Chinese ones I filmed on TV they were in widescreen, so it was kind of a letdown. I mean, they were in English and everything. I loved the fact because I fucking hated reading as a kid, but yeah, they just they zoomed in and there was even more scenes cut from the fucking Way of the Dragon and stuff. I got really pissed.
You know,
but then they banned it in like 2000. I think they got rid of that ban in like 2000, and then when the DVDs come out, I was just like, what, the nunchuck scenes as well?
That'd be great if you can find the UK versions, and when you do, try to rip them and just send them off to people just so they can see what it was like to watch this at that time, you know, with no nunchaku scenes.
I could do a cut, a Fist of Fury cut next, actually.
Yeah,
I remember the exact way it was cut, but the way they did it was so stupid. They used two scenes at the same time. When he's like getting ready and he's kind of like, when he stood there and he's kind of like moving side to side like that kind of thing.
Yeah.
They show Bruce Lee's face and then they show that again of him moving and then Bruce's face and then him walking over. It was a really strange cut. I think I can remember it the exact way.
God, he's just punishing this guy, rightfully so. It's a wonder why later on he got so pissed off. But that was the funniest thing about Chinese Connection, the English dubbed. You know, when they go into to Ching Wu, led by the sensei, him. It's like, what do you want? Get out! My brother and I used to always like make fun of that, like, get out! Ew, hey!
Do you know if I actually ever do travel to Hong Kong, I would like deliberately get like a suit, like just to dress the old style. People would probably look at me weird because people looked at Bruce weird when he was young.
I bet you in the theaters, people went ape shit when you said this, especially in the Hong Kong theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, they must have went ape shit when you.
I'd have been like, "Go on, lad, you tell them Japs. Make them eat that paper."
I mean, so and then of course came him kicking the sign from the.
I love the soundtrack of this. I didn't realize who this dude was until I watched the fucking comic because of the wig. It's what that guy. He's in The Big Boss and he's in a few of his films. He's just got a wig on.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Um,
Is he
he's
the
that
guy
guy.
who touches the chin?
He's the guy that lets. I think that's the guy that lets Bruce Lee in the gate. You know, the guy's like, nah, he
Oh
doesn't see
yeah. Oh
anyone.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's him, but he's just got a wig on. Yeah, yeah.
I never knew that until now.
Yeah, Bale Logan mentioned it's the same dude. Yeah, they didn't have many actors at Golden Harvest. They just reused actors. Like when I first saw The Big Boss, I'm just like me and my dad were like, "Hey, up, it's everybody from the Uncle School." I'm like, "Oh yeah, but yeah, it's that guy, that guy." I was like, "Oh, James Chen, no way, yeah." I was like, "Sick." You know, when James Chen came on the screen, like when he come over, like, "What's wrong, Chen?" I was like, "Oh, sick, I know James Chen." I knew all the actors' names from seeing the Chinese versions, and just seeing it in English was such a treat. Like The Big Boss, I'd never seen The Big Boss up until that point. I'd only seen the other one, like Fist of Fury and Way of the Dragon and Game of Death, all in Cantonese.
Do you know in my
So
time before the Hong Kong versions came to the United States via DVD? During the time here in the United States, it was just Chinese Connection, Fist of Fury, Return of the Dragon. But the only way you could have seen it in widescreen was on Laserdisc. Otherwise, like all the VHS versions were all modified. So
yeah,
the only way you could have seen it in widescreen format was Laserdisc prior to the DVD releases.
holy shit, this looks so good on this guy. Looks unreal. Like
Yeah.
the smoothness and everything. I wish you could experience this the exact same way
Yeah.
I'm seeing it, man. It looks unreal.
If I had a side job, I would be a rickshaw driver.
I'm just skipping it through. I'm not watching it. I'm just checking out.
It's like the master of disguise.
I'm gonna. Yeah, it really was. He was pretty good in this. Like, I'm just gonna check and see what the special features are about on this. I've not actually had a look. Oh, 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 commentaries, English,
Oh,
export,
I'm glad they're using.
Coca-Cola.
I'm glad they use this theme for the menu.
Oops. Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, so that's good. That's
Oh,
good. I
so
didn't.
English export code. What's this here? Let me see. Oh, it's probably
Yeah.
just the English version. Yeah.
I'd be so pissed if they use that. No more hands. Da-da-da-da-da.
Well, yeah. I just want to check this out. This
It's
is meant to.
the
This is like the English export
Fury.
cut or something. Is this a different dubbing from back in the day, or is it the same? Hold on. Oh, it's the same. Yeah. So that's an
Oh
English
yeah.
export cut or something. Yeah. Right. So that's yeah, because there's like a couple of versions of the film on it. So that's commentaries, fists,
Okay.
versions of Fury. Two Fists, Part Two Fist.
I wonder if that's the new Fist of Fury.
Yeah, that's him talking about the one that
Jackie Chan did.
yeah, Jackie Chan did, yeah. But it'll be nice watching the Raw because I'll have all like the fucking like. It was funny because I was talking about it, like saying like I don't mind the movies looking like too grainy because it just shows you like the authenticity. But this is
Yeah.
nice in 4K. This is really. This is like the movies were filmed like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Can't believe the quality.
Yeah, it would have been great if they did like I was saying with the Mandarin Uncut version. They'll have the 4K version, but they'll have
Yeah,
the original 35 millimeter reel, as was
it's
seen.
the yeah, it is the original 35 millimeter reel, but it is in 1080p. So
Mm.
it is in a certain HD. It's in high quality basically, but it's still got all the grainy like shit and stuff on it.
Hop, hop.
Yeah, so like the version, the raw uncut version, the raw scan, that's 1080p, and then if you want to watch it in fucking, if you want to watch it in 4K, that's 2160p a UHD Blu-ray, and then it's got like Dolby Vision 10 RD10, like it makes it look ultra like fucking smooth and real. That's what this is on at the moment. That's why I'm watching it, just like, whoa, it's weird. Like, are you fucking assholes? It's not how much Bruce Lee.
It's like, are you watching the 78 Game of Death now with the motorcycles?
I know that's what it sounds like, doesn't it? Yeah. I like the sound of the motorcycles in the
Yeah.
Cantonese version.
Take off the
They sound a
helmet.
little bit different. They don't sound as like they're a bit.
Take off the helmet. I always thought that that guy's voice, he sounded black, like this Chewy. Yeah, I'd love to see that interview with Colleen Cam. Like that'd be awesome. Like that would be the first time ever that she's ever talked about that role, and her role there was so underrated. Like her acting was so good in that movie.
I can show you it if you want.
Yeah, and I
Let me
just
just see
and
this.
even the chemistry between her and Billy Lohan, that was nice. You know, that was also underrated. Whether it was Tai Chung Kim or what was his name, Albert something, who played the Billy Bruce Lee with the glasses.
Yeah, yeah.
Albert Mac. Yeah, it's like I forgot his last name, but it was Albert something. But yeah, to me, like next to Jason Scott Lee, like Tai Chung Kim is like the best Bruce Lee impersonator.
Will this be the song I'll be
I love,
singing?
actually in the '78 version, I love that tribute. Like where, like in the end, where you see all the they show all the scenes of his movies in Golden Harvest, but then you have Will This Be
Yeah,
with that? It was perfect. I just loved it so much.
yeah, it was good. That I remember. Yeah,
Yeah.
credits. Chinese ones were really different though. When I first watched Game of Death, the Cantonese one, I didn't see that until a couple of years, like about a year or two later after I seen the Chinese
Didn't
one.
it just end like they just show them going on the ferry, takes off, and you see that picture of Bruce Lee with the
Yeah,
glasses?
yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it ended. It showed you like him getting taken away. We
Yeah.
didn't show you them getting on the ferry or anything. It just showed you Bruce Lee like getting taken away by the police, and then we cut to that picture kind of thing. Yeah,
Yeah. That yellow can next to your Coca-Cola, is that an energy drink?
yeah, it's like kind of monster.
It almost looks
Just a
like
certain
my
type.
energy.
It's like
It
kind of
almost
like a
look,
lemonade.
it almost looks like my energy drink.
Yeah.
I was wondering if that was C4.
No, it's oh shit, my phone. It's what you call it. It's a kind of monster. Or something, you know. Yeah, it's monster.
Oh yeah, Monster. We have those.
You ever heard of this stuff? Two YouTubers made it. There's an American YouTuber and a British YouTuber. It's called Prime. It's quite nice, but I don't
No?
think it's very good for you. Oh, it's pretty nice inside of it behind this disc, but
Oh, beautiful.
uh,
That's what I have a
yeah.
T-shirt that has that picture of
Oh
Bruce
yeah, I
Lee.
remember you. Yeah, your T-shirt. Yeah.
I'm hoping to wear that eventually.
Arrow Video.
That should be the insignia. Arrow Video.
Arrow Video.
Steve.
Steve. Arrow Video, dude. What's the song in the background though? On the yeah, it's just a. Wow,
Nice. I mean, in comparison to all the Bruce exploitation films, this is the best. You know, they did it. They really did a good job here. Like, yeah. Yeah.
I love the fact that I've heard Death
Yes.
Game, Deadly Games, The Game of Death, and Dead Women Walking. I started Apocalypse Now in November 76 and shot through May 77.
Yeah.
And basically, the Game of Death started a few months later in August 77. And it was a great experience for me. I had been offered a movie called Animal House that John Landis
no
was
way.
directing. And I was offered a great part in Animal House, but I was also offered The Game of Death. And I'll never forget, at the time I was at the Kohner Agency, and Mike Levy was one of the agents there. And he said, Colleen, we have a lead for you opposite Bruce Lee. And I said, Bruce Lee? I thought he was dead. He goes, exactly. He said, at least he won't have staged you. I said, what? Anyway, that was the draw to The Game of Death. So I turned down Animal House to be in The Game of Death and playing Anne the singer. And of course, they took the original footage from the original Game of Death with Robert Klaus directing. And they took that footage with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and then they orchestrated the film around that. And Andre Morgan, the producer, and I became very close friends in that movie and have been friends ever since. Obviously, Bruce Lee is an icon. He is brilliant, charismatic, someone that was a huge figure in world cinema and the martial arts. And of course, everyone was tragically sad about the death of Bruce Lee, but I really didn't know much about him until I actually did the movie.
Billy?
Yeah.
I had another visit today from one of those syndicate men.
Basically, Robert Klaus, who had done Enter the Dragon, and the original Game of Death obviously was a specific story. That story changed based on what happened to Bruce Lee. And so the story I entered into was this syndicate story, and I'm this, famous singer, Ann, and he's this famous actor, action star, and the syndicate is trying to control him, and he won't be intimidated, and I'm really scared, and I actually believe he dies. And I was playing opposite, of course, two stunt doubles. One was a true actor, one was a stunt double, one spoke English, one didn't. Then you had the original Bruce Lee footage. I would have to just say that Robert Klaus wanted me to play it very real, and that I was devastated as I'm crying at the funeral. And of course, I didn't see any of that footage at the time. I was just on a street where I was doing a shot where I start crying about Billy Lowe.
Don't you understand anything? Everybody looks at them, but that one person can see anything.
What a hell of a job.
I can
It's
remember
funny
I
in
was
Cantonese.
on a
That's it.
small street, and I was having this argument on that small street, and I was very emotional. And I remember that it felt so real. It was just the atmosphere felt so real about experiencing the death of somebody that you were close to. And I put myself really into that character and that part. It was very satisfying, even though so much of the film was choppy in the sense that there's reactions of me and then there's intercutting, and you have to have, the real characters, but yet they knew when they were going to do special effects. So it was shot like you would shoot a regular film, but I was aware of the fact that it was going to be cut in a very specific way, and nobody could predict what that would be.
Miss Morris? Dad, come on, man. You're meet your dad.
I did not meet any of Bruce Lee's family members or Linda. I know that Andre Morgan and Raymond Chow obviously knew Bruce Lee very well. And Andre's a close friend, and he was the producer and ran Golden Harvest under Raymond Chow. And so it was just through them that I had any context of the real Bruce Lee.
It's Dr. Lang's intention to try to help you. You can be very
Another great
I saw the
scene.
film in Hong Kong. I loved it. I became absolutely enamored with Hong Kong.
Fucking guys
Enamored
outside.
with the time I was there. I didn't want to leave. I fell madly in love with my makeup
Oh,
artist.
I need to put the phone. My arms are killing me. Hold on.
To this day, I've been trying to find him, but I went back with my daughter when she was about 12. I said, I've got to see Edmund
It's a
Wong.
bit
He
of,
lives
yeah,
on
sorry about the
26
angle. It's just my
Longhouse
arms just a bit so.
Hong Kong. And of course, everyone said, well, is that his surname? What is that, his English name? Is that? So they said, there's hundreds of thousands of Wong. So I did go to that address. He was no longer there. Fantastic to shoot at Golden Harvest. It was a great, great, great experience. I think I had more fun on that movie and being in Hong Kong, being in the Golden Harvest lot, interfacing with people that had known, obviously like Andre and Raymond, who had known Bruce Lee, and doing an action film. It was very exciting. I'd never done that. It was very exciting to be in that film. And I had no idea when that film premiered how big that movie would be. It was enormous, but everyone wanted to see that movie.
I'll be singing
I actually had a record deal with United Artists Records, and Artie Mogul and Mike Stewart signed me to the label. And I had to make a big decision because when I was doing Apocalypse Now, they wanted me to go on tour with an album that I had recorded. And I was on that film 1 year, Apocalypse Now. And then later it circled back with CBS Records when I was doing a movie called They All Laughed. And I had this huge opportunity to be Dick Wingate and CBS Records through Barry Bell and Bruce Springsteen, believe it or not, and Joyce Heiser, because I had sung many of the songs in They All Laughed live. And through those three individuals, I had an opportunity to meet with Dick Wingate, and they wanted to take the soundtrack album of They All Laughed, where I played a country western singer, and release it. And then another tragedy hit. Dorothy Stratton was killed. The movie was self-released. It was taken from Fox. And then they decided to release the album on Blue Moon Records. Ray Ruff tried to, release it, self-release it. And I think it was like, I was about 60 or something on the charts. It was like an old-fashioned way of trying to get that record out. It was a great soundtrack. In fact, recently I just did a film with Rodney Crowell, and it was one of the first times Rodney Crowell ever sang on a soundtrack. And he sang the song Leaving Louisiana, and we just talked about that. They All Laughed. So that has been a fleeting experience, having this record deal that has floated for many years.
Oh my God. It looks so clear. It's weird seeing it like this, Scott. It's really strange. Okay, it's just so clear.
And all of Hollywood Boulevard was shut down, and it was a monumental premiere. I don't think I realized at the time how big the movie was. It was received in a great way in terms of the public. I think the movie made a lot of money. I think everybody was anticipating to see, anything that showed Bruce Lee. And to be honest, it's so interesting because now everything is so driven by reviews, by box office. Not that it wasn't then, of course it was. I just was having this great experience of being Bruce Lee Day, premiere, female lead of movie. It was like huge for me. It was so exciting. Very unlike the Apocalypse Now premiere. The Bruce Lee premiere was a lot of joy. Everybody was celebrating. The Apocalypse Now premiere, I was saying this recently to Francis Coppola, we're at the Cinerama Dome, all the actors, the movie ends, it's like crickets. Nothing. Silence.
She wasn't even in the theatrical cut either. She was in the deleted scenes.
Yeah.
I wonder if they played it in Man's Chinese Theater, Game of Death.
Who's doing this podcast? Music's really loud.
Yeah.
What must be done is being done.
Film was a big impact on my career, especially when I saw Animal House. I was watching Animal House, and Steven Spielberg was sitting right in front of me at the DGA, and Animal House was such a phenomenon. And John Landis showed the Game of Death. And I'll never forget, I was sitting there with Sean Daniel and Bruce Berman. We were watching the Game of Death at Universal, and they said, so you did this to play opposite Bruce Lee, and you turned down Animal House. Both films were hits, but very different. And then Kenny Turan had an article in New West magazine said, the title was, I Made Love with a Dead Man. So it was crazy. I mean, it was a phenomenon in the sense that because I was with the iconic late Bruce Lee and I turned down Animal House, I will say that everything happens for a reason. And I would say that what it did most for my career was that I felt like I was part of something iconic. People love the Game of Death. And recently I've been working with this incredible woman named Mickey Lee. And I was at a dinner with Mickey Lee because I was working with her on Parasite, strategically on the film, the release of the film, and just things about the film. And what was really interesting is that all the people that were working with us and her were obsessed with the Game of Death. So it's come back in many ways that I was in that movie.
Oh, there's a deleted scene.
It's just
Oh, no, it's
deleted.
not. No, it's not. It's not. I thought it was. I thought it was the
Oh, no,
ending.
no,
Sorry.
no.
My fault.
On Game of Death is that I was able to do things that were bigger than just acting in a
No, the
movie.
deleted scenes are
And
yeah,
I was
I know
able
which
to
part you're on about.
contribute to the big picture of a movie. And that was a seminal moment for me when I brought in John Barry to score that film. Because
She
I
did?
realized that I could contribute in a way that was bigger
Yeah.
than just acting in a movie.
Apparently so.
Contribute to the whole of the movie. And I remember on Valley Girl, I called all my friends that were at studios, and it became like a bidding war. And we went to the Galleria in Sherman Oaks, and I had Sean Daniel and John Tarnoff and Sarah Altschul, the people that were from different companies, and they were all, bidding for the film. And these were executives at big studios at the time, MGM and Universal and the Ladd Company. And I got excited about being part of putting things together and getting things shown in the right way. And I think that Game of Death was actually a precursor to all of that, because I brought in John Barry to score it, and I had my parents there.
Man.
I can't say enough of that film, and have a long-standing relationship with Andre Morgan, and I got to be opposite the great Bruce Lee. What could be better?
I can't believe how different she looks. I keep forgetting it.
Yeah.
That movie's like how old now? What was that? 78 was it came out?
Wow, I can't believe the contribution she gave to that. Holy cow, dude. It was because of her that John Barry did the score?
Oh no, that's pretty cool, isn't it? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I wonder if
They
I
deleted
wonder
notes.
if this played in Mann's Chinese Theater when it first came out in 78.
This is how I remember it
Oh,
ending.
the alternate Cantonese ending. Yep, let's see.
This is how I remember it ending when I was a kid.
Up, here we go.
Oh, this is cool to see in 4K, man.
That was another thing about the 78 version was.
Oh god, there's the original picture there showing you going back up there. Yeah, it does show you it there. There's a short Scott here. Not the big boss, I'm trying to move it like. Right, okay. Nyam fombo, soundbird, nyam fombo, saya yomo. Why not? This wasn't. Wait a minute, did it just. My mum came in the room, one sec. No, mine wasn't like this.
Is this the Mandarin ending or the Cantonese?
This is the Cantonese. But mine wasn't exactly like that. It was a little bit different.
What does the Mandarin one look like?
I'll have a look.
It
was definitely the Cantonese version that I had. But
it's weird they didn't have the one where Billy Logan's put in the back of the van. That's new.
I think they might have got these mixed up, you know. Let me see. Hold on.
Yeah.
No, mine didn't end like that. It's a
Oh, here we go.
It had this. It had all this, but it didn't have this music in the background. What the heck version did I have? This is what I had, but it didn't have this tune in the background. It had the other song that why not the one I was singing before. There must be a couple of different endings because mine was a little bit different to this. That's pretty cool though.
God, that guy looked like Benny the Jet Urquidez.
Yeah, and he goes into the back of the van. Yeah, this is what I had, but it just didn't have this song. Ah, weird, huh? Yeah, mine was a little bit different. Ambulance.
Ambulance.
Yeah, that was the ending I had, but I don't know why it's got this song. It was that other song I had. I wonder if there's another ending on it. Let's have a look on the disc.
Yeah.
Might just been them two. Yeah, that boat's still running, you know, in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
And it's still going today, that boat. It's like fucking 50-year-olds.
Wow, that same boat?
Mm-hmm.
That'd be awesome to go on that boat.
I think they've updated it a bit and it does look a tiny bit different, but it's still the same boat. Yeah.
I would love to go on a Chinese junk.
There's a different alternative fight with. Oh yeah, so there's another cut to the movie. I don't know if you remember this.
I've never seen. No, let's check it.
So he actually fights that guy really early on in the movie. So check this out. It's a fight scene we all love and know, but it happens a little bit earlier in the movie. Here we go. This wasn't in my Cantonese cut. Mine didn't even have this scene, like that fight scene. It only had Kareem Abdul-Jabbar scene. They cut it all out.
Oh, nice with the disguise.
It kind of hard to tell if it's even Bruce Lee. That, to be fair. Red Pepper Restaurant.
Yeah.
This is Cantonese. But this scene wasn't in mine. Very rare.
God, they even show the shoes.
呢啖氣我點都要出㗎啦，最多係一鑊熟嘅啫。如果聽朝我冇電話俾你，你就去南北樓同我執骨咧。
The guy that did the Cantonese voice for Billy Lowe actually was really good as well. But then, yeah.
This is very weird.
你個衰人都幾識嘆㗎喎。
You're good.
你係邊個？
Oh, the fight scenes. Wait till you hear the war cries and shit. It's fucking
我老
perfect.
細唔喺度，冚唪唥去晒搭船過澳門，不如等我都順手送埋你去啦。西天嘅衰仔！
I prefer this over the English war
I
cries.
love the Hong Kong like sound effects from that time.
Yeah.
That's why I get
It's a
so
lot.
pissed.
I think it's a lot better than the English war cries.
I get pissed off when they alter the sound and take that sound away, like when they remaster it for DVD and Blu-ray.
Yeah, I prefer the punches and noise and everything. And what we saw in, like, do you know when you first watch The Warrior's Journey and you realise how much was cut? It's like, whoa.
Yeah, I was
That's what needs to
blown the
happen
hell away
next.
when I
That needs
first
to get
saw this.
that needs to get put in 4K. That Warrior's Journey. I'm going to speak to
I
John
hope
Littleman.
so. Yeah, because John Little told me they were going to do a 4K restoration for the Criterion, but then probably because of budget reasons, they canceled it, and then he just walked out. He just left the project, and then that's when they brought Alan Canvin in for the Redux. So it was a stand-in to the Warrior's Journey.
Yeah, I'm just skipping it to see if anything happens at the end when he yeah. Also, it just skips to the boat scene at the end. So that's how that cut went. I couldn't be bothered watching it. I've seen that fight so many times. It's a cut one as well. I'll watch for this bit here, but yeah, then it just cuts to the boat bit. Extended war cry. All right, then the music kicks in here.
I wonder if they have an interview with the guy who does the war cry in the 78 version. I keep forgetting his name. It's off the tip of my tongue.
Well, yeah.
God. Yeah.
Oh, the death thread. Do you remember this scene?
No.
This was in my Cantonese version. So, hold on a second. This scene basically, do you know when he goes to see his uncle that works in is it the opera or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they basically replaced that scene with this scene.
Really?
That was like an English-speaking scene. It would have probably been too hard for him to.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, but they used it. They did use this scene in Game of Death 2.
They used the Way of the Dragon.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, this part is so funny. Watch this here. It's like you have to make up the walk or something. It says, but yeah, then they use this bit really. Oh, did they not? Oh, the greenhouse fight, and then right after that, this is what happens.
Yeah, I remember the greenhouse fight. But I don't remember this in there though.
Yeah, they had that bit, and then like it shows you Bruce Lee and he's singing "Mongo Darwin." 能夠這是黃曬興，喂，劉野春。
劉野村啊，光頭佬又唔知想整我乜嘢啦。
我覺得隊都有攞嚟kind of do all the kind of
Remember
these.
what Baldy wants again?
Yeah, honestly, they tried their best. I mean, as a kid, I remember watching this thinking, is this Bruce? Because you could see it wasn't him.
Yeah.
And then the cut that they used was like him from Way of the Dragon, but it was really badly done if you watch here, look here.
What's awesome is that Sammo Hung does the action choreography for the 78 version.
Yeah. But it's a good scene and
Especially
everything.
for this scene in particular.
Yeah, it was all right. I'm going to go off it, though, because I've seen it that many times. It was in the Cantonese cut.
Actually, do you mind if I see it? Because I haven't seen that in a long time.
What, do you want to watch the Greenhouse fight?
If it's okay.
Yeah, of course you can, yeah. Just seeing what else was on it as well. Return to the boat. alternative fights we've had. See, there's alternative Mandarin. All right, I'll need to check all this out.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll stick this on. I've not watched it for a while as well, but. Yeah, I did a wow pedal in there. That was actually pretty cool. Yeah, that bit just one more time. Sorry.
It's okay.
It was pretty. It's like dead 70s. That.
It sounds like it does. That sounds like the Way of the Dragon too.
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah, it's the same tune. They just added that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Lao Ye Chun. I wonder what that ballad wants. Once again. 我覺得打我手屎有股啊！我見到咩發白痴 See, I can just chat like random words in Cantonese, and nobody that speaks Cantonese think I'm actually speaking. It's gibberish from when I was a kid. 老爺春，你啊，你啊，
劉野村，你無端白事約我出嚟比武，梗係身痕點咩？
你乜人等嘅咧啊？好啊，
好啦，
好啦。
我即管試下你係流嘢定係堅嘢。
He says something to like, he does like this stance, and he's like, it's a great shitting stance or something. He says,
咁知整㗎。
"Are you so alarmed? You're even adopting, or even adopting a horse then."
Now it's gone to the classic 70s kung fu movies.
Look at the cut here of Bruce's face here, it's dead look. He tried the best. I mean, it was 1978, but yeah, it
Yeah.
did the job. But here you can just tell it's not Bruce, it's that Korean guy.
學
Ah,
下嘢啦，
oh, yeah.
出腳要收發自如，而家叫你表演踢花門啦。
Yeah, that's
Oh, he
very,
sounds like a dog in a minute. Watch this bit with the dog barks. I don't know why they added that. I think they just got bored. Just thought they'd add a couple of dog barks. This bit,
I think Yan Biao was also one of the stunt doubles.
Probably was.
Yeah.
It's funny how they try and hide his face, like with plants, pots and stuff. Yeah, this bit here always used to make me laugh.
Ooh.
Where is it? Yeah, I think it's after all this. Yeah, it is after all this bit, but yeah. Yeah, the guy's face here where he's lifting up these two things looks pretty funny actually. Watch here where he lifts up these two. It's like he's having a shit. He's like, huh? It's a good fight scene though.
Yeah.
Good choreograph and everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those blocks are nice.
Yeah, I think it's this bit when he knocks him down here. He goes to like go for him, but then he doesn't. Like he like steps forward a bit and then steps back, and that guy just like shakes it. It's like a proper Bruce Lee scene. It just made me laugh when I was younger. He gets up and like goes to go for him, but then doesn't. Just made me laugh this bit here.
Nice camera work though, that close up. That's
And that bit there, like used to make me laugh. Like he just like shakes his head.
especially right there. Ooh, nice.
Now you Jun, Fima, I can't see it. I can't remember how to say all the words, but I remember it a little bit from just my childhood.
劉野村，你啊，我翻去話俾光頭佬佢哋知，就算佢哋點樣嚟炒我，我
Bailey,
唔會錫佢哋嘅。
most of it go. In this game of death too, he just turns around and walks here, but then there's this
仲
little
有
bit.
啊，唔怪得人哋話你係花柳腳，一啲用都冇嘅。第時大家記住等啲豬腦補下先。
This bit is pretty cool. He goes to get up and he realizes he can't get up. He's in loads of pain. He just sits up. Oh, sorry, this scene's first, and then it cuts to that other scene. Like he goes, ah, and then it's fucking Bruce Lee on the phone with that guy. Sorry, yeah, it cuts that way. He's like, these alternative fights.
Yeah, with Benny and Asano with Jin Ho Jae.
Yeah, we'll see what that's about. It's like the opposite way around. What the fuck? This must have been, yeah. Yeah, they must have swapped it round for a Mandarin cut or something. So it's this fight first, and then
The music's different. Or is it?
it's just a 78 cut, I think, this, but it's just reversed for some reason. We've got this fight first, and then oh wait, no, that's the way it actually went, wasn't it? It was Danny Inosanto first. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah,
It's just the sound effects are different.
yeah, it'll be the Gate 78 one with a wajah and all that shit. It doesn't have them war cries. These cutscenes, these scenes I noticed even from the English cut, they didn't have the British wajah, which I prefer.
Actually, Chris Kent was the one who does the war cries in the 78 version.
Yeah, they didn't add it in this bit though. They cut it out. I like how they cut the dialogue bit out here. Like when you know what was meant to be there and stuff. Now it's cool to watch back and see how they cut it.
Yeah.
They cut out so much fucking good stuff though. They could have had it well longer movie. What the hell? That was a weird cut.
Whoa.
Whoa, wait a sec. What was that? Oh, this is bearing in mind it's a Mandarin cut, so I don't know. So as if that got cut for. What the fuck? Oh, they must have had to cut it down for. What the heck?
Yeah, hopefully.
That's worse than the fucking. That's like a British cut.
I hope that's not the entire scene. They're just showing clips. That was horrible.
Yeah, it must have been a rare cut. Some of these are like rare cuts that have like never been seen and stuff. So I've never seen this cut before. That was really strange. Like, you dead already? I'm looking for that to land.
It's interesting that they actually use like the deleted stuff in these versions.
Yeah. Use some good shots here. It's actually like a Bruce Lee movie now. No music or anything.
It's so funny. They all, like both versions just added all this dialogue.
I hope Arrow Films haven't fucked this up with like a new dub or something. I hope they haven't I hope they've kept like an original. I don't know what dub they're gonna use. Should have got John Little to come in and do it.
Yeah.
And redo it. That would have been pretty good.
Yeah, I really hope that. Yeah.
I hope it sounds decent. I don't know. I might check it out. I don't know if it's on this disc because I think it's on the alternative version disc. Oh, it's on the it's on the Arrow version disc.
God, even Bruce Lee had a hand in the set design on top of everything else. I mean, look at the detail of the set, dude. On top of the fact that he was the writer, the lighting guy, the director, the producer, the actor, the choreographer. It's like, shit, dude.
Yeah, I think he would have went all. Do you know if he'd been given the task to film the Titanic? I think he'd have done quite a good job.
Oh, yeah.
Alternative universe, Bruce Lee makes the fucking makes the Titanic.
God, this was 72, so this was like the third movie that he did in that same year. Oh my god, dude. Like, people forget, from 71 to 73, he did 5 freaking movies, dude. And even though Game of Death was incomplete, there was a shitload of work that he did on this.
I know, he was non-stop. He never took a break. He should have took a couple of months out, but he just didn't.
Like Andre Morgan said in that Steve Carriage documentary that's coming up, that they just said, dude, Bruce, slow down. You know, even my brother was saying
I wish I could have met him in 72 just after he did Way of the Dragon at the Way of the Dragon premiere and just said to him, right, you need to take a year's break. Like, no buts, I don't give a shit. Take a year off.
Yeah.
So, fuck's sake. And if he asks any questions like, no buts, if he really wants to get personal, I'll show him a picture of his grave.
Yeah.
I'm like, stay off. Take a break. Year off. I was like, Hollywood's going to call soon anyway.
It's like before. It's
Hollywood's
like
going to be there.
it's like before you show him that video, that picture. I can just see Bruce Lee going, "Do you know why they call me Never Sit Still?" He's, well, this is why, because I don't sleep.
Alternative Japanese version of the film.
Let's see that one.
Image galleries, behind the scenes, posters, video art.
I'm sure the behind the scenes are gonna show like there was one
A
that I saw in
bunch
the Bruce Lee groups of oh, nice.
It's just like, I think it's just picture gallery. I don't know. Do I skip it?
Nice picture of her. Oh, nice. These are beautiful shots of her.
That's the scene at the beginning where they're all talking.
Yeah.
It's in colour. There must be a rehearsal because he didn't have his top off in the scene.
I mean, these guys did a good job playing. Yeah, that's the one that I remember sharing that in the Bruce Lee Facebook groups. That's a nice one.
Yeah, Daniel Asano, you can tell he's a bit older here. Yeah, you can see he's a bit older than he was in the original.
But he really gave a good effort for this, you know, even though he knew it wasn't the original Bruce Lee version. He still did a great. He really contributed well into this too.
Yeah, he did. He was all right in it. Yeah.
I didn't know until very recently, though, that the guy who played Hakeem was not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I thought it was growing up. Like, figure, it's done, man. Like, that guy wasn't...
Figure it's done. That's a good photo. Sammo Hung and Bob Wall drinking Coke.
Nice, yeah, nice picture. Probably after their fight in the ring.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
That's a good one. Dean Jagger acting dead.
Oh, he was a great villain in this too, and his laugh was always so unforgettable. you beautiful bastard!
You beautiful bastard! Yeah, I think that's the alternative Japanese version. What does this? It normally tells you. Mostly identical, the main international cut, the version of Game of Death released in Japan cinemas.
Like when I was growing up as a kid, I used to always like reenact that scene. I always kept saying that same line, "Roo, bitch."
Oh, this version's not original. Is this Japanese? Did it say? Hold on, I want to see what the language is like in this.
Film. Oh, so is it the full?
He said it's got some of the original Bruce Lee like war crime. Whoa, is this the Japanese version?
Letterings. That's a nice intro.
The intro of this will be like.
See, in the first edition, the 78 version, it was that.
This is
and then you hear the
yeah.
Like now, after the Warrior's Journey, when they re-released the 78 version of Game of Death, they don't show that Golden Harvest presentation anymore. It's just straight up to Bruce Lee doing a
Yeah, they did. Yeah, I remember that.
So yeah, that's how you know that's not like the ones nowadays are not the first editions from the theaters.
Really?
Oh, it's in English.
I had another visit to take.
And that's what I love about the 78 version too. Like Robert Klaus really displays Hong Kong a lot more here than he did in Enter the Dragon.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. Yeah, it's in English though.
Where have you been? I've been trying to reach you.
It's just an alternative Japanese version. It must be different scenes and stuff. But yeah, there's another disc where it's got the Cantonese and Mandarin version. And the other disc's got like the Arrow fucking special edition or whatever. Hey, there's some good shots in this.
Yeah, especially here. This is so nice. And I love the music. This is so John Barry right here. Like comparing it to the scores he did in other films, like Somewhere in Time. Like this reminds me of Somewhere in Time. Or High Road to China. Like, you would like High Road to China. That's a great movie. And he does the score for that too. And the score for that is memorable. Even Dances with Wolves. He did Dances with Wolves, and the score sounds just like this.
Night sun.
This is with lyrics?
Together. Yeah, it's just.
I remember. It's just the orchestra in the US version.
Yeah, it's just the lyrics, but they've just done it with instruments. Tomorrow. Yeah, but really high key. Do, 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 do.
Is it just the I can't? Is it just the orchestra, or is there somebody singing with it?
No, it's just
Oh, okay. I thought somebody was singing with
no,
it.
it's just like that. I was just singing along to
Oh,
it.
okay. It's like,
Sounds
oh,
like someone
they
fucking
added that to this version.
Judy Garland would have sang us something back in the day, like, well, let's be the song I'll be singing to Baru. No way, Billy, I ain't doing that shit. You ain't good as martial arts as me, bullshit. Get off this boat. Y'all better get off this boat right now. I ain't taking it.
I'm not doing that shit.
I've only got one more basketball game to go, bitch. I ain't gonna let you ruin it. Get off this goddamn boat.
Shit.
Which all means you can't leave me. You left me before. Bitch. Just turns around, last thing he says to him, bitch. And she walks off the boat. And she's just like, he's really worried about it. Maybe you should just leave him the fuck alone. Do you imagine on the next scene where on the phone? Did you get in touch with Billy? There's something wrong with him. Maybe you should just leave him the fuck alone. Stop bothering him. Yeah, it's just like,
God, so
why
unbelievable.
don't you just
And
leave him? Fuck alone. You don't want to speak to you. You told me personally.
it's really
Don't give me
unbelievable.
shit. I'm gonna fucking.
It's so surreal what happened to him after this movie.
Yeah, the
Gig
shooting
Young.
scene was a bit. Yeah, I remember as a kid thinking, "Whoa." So that's kind of weird because like Brandon Lee got shot in the movie like
No, but
93. Yeah.
no, but I mean Gig Young. I mean, didn't he kill his family or something, and he committed suicide?
Oh yeah, he committed suicide and killed. No, he killed his wife and then committed suicide. I think.
Yeah, like right after this movie.
Yeah, not long after this movie, like 1979 or something.
Yeah, that was so surreal.
This was apparently quite disrespectful to the Bruce Lee family. This they didn't even ask for permission, but they had loads of footage of this at the Golden Harvest Studios because of Bruce Lee, the man, the legend. I think it was. Or something.
Golly, and I mean, this is real footage. This is unbelievable.
I know, and it was really like, I just don't think that, I mean, it was a bit like Linda would have known, I'm guessing. I'm not too sure, but like, I don't think it was like they'd even asked the family, so it was a bit of like, whoa, you know.
No, but you know, Bruce Lee, the man only I knew, like she describes it so vivid. Like her emotions were still raw because she just wrote it like 2 years after he passed. But she describes the funeral so well. You're not only there with her, but you feel her emotions, like the insanity
Yeah.
of that day. Like to her, it was all a blur. But when you get to that part in the man only I knew, like when you put the book down, it's gonna stick to you for a while. That's how well she wrote that. When I was a kid, I thought that was in the same. I thought they were doing that to his like when they intercut
Well,
like
while
that.
it was, while the coffin was open, yeah.
I always thought that when I was like, first time I saw this, I was like 4 years old.
I was like, what are they doing?
It's so weird that I was 4 years old when I first was introduced to Bruce Lee. Like when I do my podcast in the future, I'm gonna show people pictures of me when I was younger. It's gonna be weird. But it was so cool those pictures you showed me of you with the Bruce Lee videos.
Yeah, it
At-
was
at
one of
that
them.
age?
One of them. Yeah, one of them was the Big Boss, and the other one was the Little Dragon or something. It had a bunch of Bruce Lee childhood movies, and then it was like kind of a biography about Bruce's life, but it had Bruce Lee as Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah, I remember
So
that.
it was kind of like, yeah, it had like the scene where Bruce Lee died, but they kind of like exaggerated it a bit.
I
Like, it was kind
I like that
of-
Bruce Lee biopic because they show a lot of the people from like the Way of the Dragon, especially that big Italian guy.
Yeah.
They had him in that too. That would have been interesting to get an interview with him. I'm sure he would have been willing to talk about Bruce Lee and the Way of the Dragon also.
Yeah. Yeah, this disc's alright. It's got quite a good few things in it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is like the Japanese cut. I thought it was going to be in Japanese because of that intro then, but it's in English.
Yeah, I'm not sure there's really much of a difference except actually look at the ending. The ending might be different. Oh, okay.
Alternative J fight, yeah. There is like certain ways you can play this actually. But I don't know, I'll see what the ending's like. I think it has all the like the proper war cries through it and stuff.
Yeah. That's a great picture. Dude, that's nice. That's a poster right there. Or a billboard.
Yeah.
I used to laugh when he always used to go, Poe! Poe!
Oh yeah. Well,
Guards! Carl! Poe!
pow. Pow. Impossible. Pow.
Poe!
Yeah. They're just doing the dubbing. I just do my own dubbing like.
Yeah,
Just like. I'd be like moaning on the way, but like try to climb up.
that's the funny thing. Even when I was 5 or 6 years old, this movie made me really sad, especially in the end. I guess I don't know if I guess part of me knew that Bruce Lee died, but there was just something. Yeah, I don't know why.
Yeah,
but
I
just-
didn't know originally when I first saw this, but then I gathered halfway through, like, 'cause I don't even this is Bruce Lee, you know.
Yeah,
And then, like, because I was just a young, my mum and dad didn't know. I didn't know when it was made or anything. But yeah, I kind of gathered. But I
But-
didn't have any of this.
but I do remember. But I do remember like all the Bruce Lee sequences, and then after he kills Kareem, and then it goes back to the stuntman. I remember like they used to always like disturb me because it's like
Yeah.
yeah. Like, where's Bruce Lee? I miss him. Yeah, my brother loved the shit out of this scene. Like during the 80s
Yeah.
when it was just the 78 version.
Did
my-
you prefer to see Warrior's Journey?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, did you get to see the final thing?
Do you know
Well,
my
near
do,
enough.
do you know my sister is a Filipino Eskrima master?
No, you didn't
Yeah.
start. No, I don't think you mentioned
She's
that
the
to me,
master
no.
of the two sticks. Oh, dude, if I kept in contact with my sister, I'd be like, dude, can you show me some stuff with the two sticks? She'd be willing to.
I can do nunchucks. That's about it. I can't. I
Yeah.
probably could do some shit with sticks. I'd have to learn all the techniques and stuff.
You should do a
Which
video.
I'm
You should do a
doing.
video of you recording yourself doing nunchakus. I remember the first time I met you, you showed me that. That was so awesome.
Yeah, what I'll need to do. I'm thinking of actually buying a proper professional set of them. You can get replica Way of the Dragon ones now and stuff. You know. I had a pair of these yellow ones when I was younger. My dad made me. I think I've sent you the photos. and
Yeah, that was cool
fucking-
that he did that.
I don't know where they are, man. And you like the bit of string that we used? That was like a line that was on like a tent, I think it was, or something. We took it off. So my friend Adam, he wanted the red ones, and I said I could make the red ones, but we need to find some red string or something.
Yeah. So they're mixing like the 78 version with different Warcry sounds in this version. It's not Chris Kent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that other cut before, that Mandarin cut was weird, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It just like cut you on the ground, and it's just like,
I knew this fight scene so well by heart that I used to have action figures growing up. Like I had my like WCW wrestling figures. I had like Sting. I used to always have Sting as Bruce Lee, and I'd have somebody else play like Denny Asano or whatever. I'd always reenact the fight sequence between like him and Denny Asano, Jihan Jane, even Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like I've seen this so many times that I knew the choreography by heart, and I used to reenact it with my action figures.
yeah. Me and my friend Brian used to reenact. What was it? The Chuck Norris fight. Do you know the slow motion part?
Yeah.
Me and him pretty much mastered how to do all of that. It was pretty cool. I used to always play Bruce's part, and then we'd do vice versa and shit. We'd swap around and stuff.
I love the sound effects of the nunchakus here, at least in the 78 version. Like, that, oh yeah, I know that's definitely Denny Asano.
Oh. Get that.
Oh, you see the log on the floor?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you noticed that in a Warrior's Journey. I noticed that in Warrior's Journey that the logs on the ground. Yeah.
I actually felt bad for him here, probably because of the music growing up. I remember you pointed that out to me, like at that part where like, I think like the camera shook for a little bit
Yeah, it shakes. Yeah, it does. It's really weird. Like,
because Daniel
must have been something. Oh
Asano.
shit! I've skipped it too far.
Oh, my brother loves this part too. Like especially when he opens the
Where's the
jacket.
doctor?
He,
Yeah, but I just what? Yeah, that camera does it.
my
Does it
brother and I
properly
used to
show it?
reenact that fight between Billy Lowe and Stick, and then
Yeah,
we'd always end the fight with my either me or my brother would open up the jacket. Just that little detail. Where's
yeah.
the doctor? I didn't know what he said for the longest time. My brother was like, "No, he's saying where's the doctor?"
Yeah, he says, "Where's the doctor?" Yeah, if you watch when Danny Santo falls, yeah, the camera
Nice
does.
freeze frame.
Yeah, it does shake a bit though. Look. Oh shit! Pressed
Yeah,
it again.
is it because Daniel Asano hit the cameraman by accident?
It could have been, or yeah, or it could have like because normally they would have had a mattress down there. Maybe the mattress just like touched something and just made something show.
It's funny how they use the deleted scenes here.
喂，等我都順手送埋你去啦，西天啊衰仔！
I was like, shut up. I'm not just saying that was quite funny. Let me go back. Doesn't say anything back. He just goes, "Yeah, shut up."
Yeah, you just know.
I'm gonna go back and see what he actually says to him. Oh shit! It's because I'm not used to this Xbox skipping on it. He's like, "No, no, 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 it's like, oh, yeah, shut up." It's pretty cool.
After the Warrior's Journey, I realized that that scene was added for the 78 version when he drops the nunchakus because he had it in the second floor, which I thought was funny. Like like while he's talking, all of a sudden Bruce Lee just responds like going, just drops the nunchakus. But the timing of that always makes me laugh.
Yeah. Acha.
Yeah. Bruce Lee is, and that's what was that was not realized in the 78 version until John Little stepped in. Is the fact that Bruce Lee, he was the style of no style, fighting all of these established martial arts with their distinct styles. Like Hapkido, my god, I've taken Hapkido for like 3 years, just learning the simple attack holds. But the way he does it, it's oh my god, he makes it so freaking easy. But it's spectacular to watch. Like I'd rather just watch it than do it.
I just noticed him laid at the bottom of the stairs and too. Hold on.
But that was so unfortunate that all that was cut out until the Warrior's Journey came out. Was just seeing how spectacular Hapkido was, and Bruce Lee, I know, kept that in mind. Oh yeah, there he is right there.
See
Yeah,
the body laid to the ground.
yeah, Che Yun. Yeah.
He's like, "Who's that?" Like, "Who's that on the floor, mommy?"
when all the sawdust comes from the ceiling, like they showed that in the end of Bruce Lee the Legend. I thought that was just some sort of like there was like an outtake or a blooper. I didn't know that was part of the movie.
Yeah, it was in the part of the script.
Yeah, until the Warrior's Journey. Yeah. God, just watching Warrior's Journey for the first time was just as surreal as watching The Way of the Dragon for the first time. The original Hong Kong version. It was just like an out of body experience. Like, oh my god, dude. It's probably going to be the same feeling when we watch the Mandarin uncut version of The Big Boss.
Yeah, they try to cut so you can't see the body as much.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I do notice they crop the screen a lot. Especially when he was fighting Jihan Jay, because otherwise you'll see James Tian in the beginning.
Yeah.
But that's the thing about the 78 version. I love this. They didn't show this in the Warrior's Journey. I just love that reaction. God, There's a lot of collectors that I've seen who has little miniatures of the of the Game of Death with a set, and they even have Bruce Lee. I like the fact that they even have the footprint as a detail.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I always compliment those guys who have that. It's so funny that something that small would be iconic, and Bruce Lee actually created that in his script.
His dub's different than the Cantonese one as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Even
the
back,
Cantonese one's got like it's got the war cry they get into, but it's there's some of it in this is a bit different in this alternative version. They cut out all the dialogue.
yeah.
This is well different. Yeah, it's had all like the Cantonese one's way better.
Yeah.
It's not too bad though. I do like it because it's using them war cries, but yeah, the Cantonese one's better. I'd say.
Mhm.
I thought they were just going to use similar ones, but they've actually changed it right up.
I mean, for its time, I did like the way they put this together. I mean, they cut this very well.
No, what? Sorry, what did you say?
I was just saying, like in the '78 version, they cut this very well.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
I
It
mean,
was crazy when I was like 12 and I saw a Warrior's Journey and I saw the amount of stuff there was. Like,
yeah,
so I was like, what the fuck? I was like, well, and the version I seen on TV was slightly cut as well. So it wasn't. It was. They kept like cutting like halfway through, and it had like the narrator talking about bits of it, and then it'd go back into it, kind of thing. It was like, it was a bit weird.
Wasn't there an interview with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar talking about this in the special features?
Yeah, it was on the other disc. It's on the. Which one's it on? I think it's on the. I need to have a look. Actually. Yeah, he got interviewed in like '76, and he talks about Bruce Lee.
Oh yeah, and then there's Hideki Asano in '74 talking about the nunchakus. Do you have work tomorrow?
Yes, yeah, I will do tomorrow. It's like 12:15 in the afternoon here.
Oh, okay. What time are you working?
I'm working tomorrow at like 8. I've been up all night. I did a night shift, so I probably will get a bit of sleep soon.
Okay.
But yeah, I did a night shift last night. Back in tomorrow. I think at 8 in the morning till 6. I think I'm getting early finishes this week. I think I'm in 8 till 6 tomorrow and 8 till 6 Thursday. As far as I'm aware. Yeah, this war cries are different in this a little bit compared to the Cantonese one.
That's another thing about the '78 version. You see his bruises on his face a lot more, like especially here.
You'll have to watch the Cantonese one with me when you get the box set.
Okay.
It'd be cool.
See the sidekick right here. It's just it reminds me of what Bruce Lee was teaching James Coburn. Like when he says, you put the leg back.
Yeah.
That's what he was telling James Coburn. That's like when Kareem did that here. It just reminded me of that.
They didn't. I don't think they knew what to do there with the war cry.
Yeah. That's a nice camera shot. That was another thing he did. That was another thing he was in charge of, the cinematography.
It's mad that like the first couple of takes they were doing, they were going so fast that they had to slow everything down.
Yeah, that's what Kareem was saying. It was funny how it looked though. They showed it. It just looked like a special effect almost.
Yeah, they said they'd do like several things in a split second, and it just didn't look. It looked too janky on the camera, so they wouldn't look good. So they had to slow it down.
Yeah.
It's the same when Jackie Chan and Jet Li did a film together. They worked this choreograph out, and then they did it on camera, and they said, "Well, we need to do another take, so we can barely see. And you guys need to slow down."
Was that the Forbidden Fortress?
Yeah, Forbidden Kingdom.
Oh, the Forbidden Kingdom. Yeah.
Yeah, and they both looked at each other and looked at the cast and crew and said, like, "We are slowing down. Like, is that too fast?" So they had to slow it extra like down.
Wasn't that movie like The Last Action Hero, except it was like a martial arts version?
Kind of. I'd say it's more of like a Wizard of Oz type thing.
Hmm.
It's like an alternative world that he kind of gets like, it's kind of a hard one to explain.
Who the hell
I
are
think he
you?
falls on the ground. I think he falls on the ground and goes into like, it's quite cool. Yeah, the set didn't look too bad as well that they made up for it.
Even like the little detail of Kareem laying there.
Yeah.
I think there was an interview with him talking about him fighting Bruce, the stunt double.
Yeah, I used to always notice this bit. There's no punch bag behind him, and then there's a punch bag. And then like there's another bit where there's like stairs behind him and stuff. You just use different shots.
Simple like Irish boxing.
Yeah. Oh,
Gosh, he tore him up here.
I know, breaks his hand. Stun man. That wasn't really him. That was stuntman.
Let's go to the ending and see what they add after Dr. Land falls to his demise. Son of a bitch, get that bastard!
Yeah, I'm not sure what they do with the Japanese one.
Oh.
Oh, it's the same.
Wow, so pretty much it's just the intro is the only difference, along with just the different sound effects from the.
Yeah.
But I
The
love this.
Cantonese one's very different. I mean, the Cantonese one's got different scenes and shit. Like the scenes I showed you in this, it's all in the Cantonese and shit.
I love this tribute. It's just so well. It's so nicely done.
Hey, this song used to put my daughter to sleep when she was little.
Really?
Yeah, I played it one time. She fell asleep.
That's nice. I have this song in my iTunes. I love listening to this. And I love that doom doom doo, you know, the bass in the background.
It must have been surreal for Brandon and
Yeah.
Shannon. They were a bit older. I just remember seeing a picture of them at the premiere.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon probably remembered, mate. I don't know if Shannon probably did as well, but Brandon would have remembered being on the set with him. It was only 5 years.
Yeah, there was
He
that.
remembered being 8 years old with his dad. It would have been very fresh in his memory still, actually, if it was only 5 years.
There was that cool picture that I shared in the Bruce Lee groups of Brandon Lee like doing some kind of a flip on Jiahon J.
Yeah.
God, I hope one day we'll get to see the Operation Relief.
They need to release that in 4K for everyone.
Yeah,
All the Bruce Lee
I have a
episodes.
feeling Steve Carriage has that.
I heard that Bruce Lee was a bit of a jokester, and sometimes he'd just go down to the studio and surprise everyone.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. Like he wouldn't even be like, he wouldn't be called in for an interview or anything. He'd just go down there because he'd hear them talk. People would say to him on the street, like, "Oh, Bruce is talking about you on TV," and he'd say, "Oh, what station?" So he'd drive there and he'd just walk on, and because he was Bruce, he couldn't say no to him. It's like, "Oh my God, nice you on." And everyone would be like,
that's
"Oh,
good. That's good television for them.
I know exactly. I bet he was like proper like because he was a bit westernized at that point as well. He had a bit of swag about him, so I think he'd appealed a bit more in him because there'd have been a bit of like a mystery to him, like, oh, he's lived in America for a few years.
What's really interesting is like when I was living in Oakland, like about 3 years ago, there was this really nice Chinese family from Hong Kong, and they were tailors. Hello?
Oh, sorry, I just got a message about something, but no, sorry, what were you saying?
Oh, sorry, I thought I lost you.
No, no, I'm here.
No, so there's this really nice Chinese family that were from Hong Kong that I used to bring my clothes over to tailor, like to resize. And I remember we were talking about Bruce Lee, and we were also talking about Cantonese music because we knew the same Cantonese singers from the 80s and 90s. But we were also talking about Bruce Lee. But it was interesting, like when they were talking, because the husband was asking the wife, who's the main tailor. He was asking her like, what are what are you guys talking about in Cantonese? And then she goes, "Oh, we're talking about Lei Xiulong." She actually mentions Lei Xiulong. She didn't say Bruce Lee.
I've just noticed one other little special feature on this. All it is, it's just a clip from 1984 documentary Bruce Lee the Legend featuring footage and interviews shot on the set of Game of Death by Golden Harvest staffer Russell Catworth
Yeah,
in 77.
they showed that in Bruce Lee the Legend.
Yeah, that's basically they've added that to this as well. It's because it's the Bruce Lee Game of Death one. Yeah, I think I remember this from the Legend. That was like the one you grew up watching, isn't it? The Legend documentary.
Yeah, and it's where Sammo Hung is like, he's there like kind of like, he's like leading probably Tai Chung Kim, where he was
Is
just
this
like,
right here? Hold on a second. Let me just go back to the beginning. Is this like all right here? Is this in the Legend? Yeah.
no, maybe.
Wait a minute. Is this?
Oh yeah,
Oh,
I remember this in Bruce Lee the
yeah, but that
Legend.
bit there at the beginning was
Yeah, this is Bruce Lee the Legend.
yeah.
Yeah, this guy was
Yeah, I
pretty
think it
good. Like
was.
especially when he looks up like that, that looks like Tang Long.
Yeah, I think Bay Logan said that when he looked from the side, he looked really good or something.
Yep, and there's Sammo Hung. Yeah,
He was a bit too skinny, him, but yeah, he still
yeah.
did the job.
Even like his spin kick was unlike Bruce Lee, even though it was nice.
Yeah,
This music, dun, 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 dun. Yeah, right there. Yeah, that was
yeah.
nice though. I love the narrator in Bruce Lee the Legend.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That's nice. Oh, I'm gonna let you get some sleep.
Yeah, okay.
Well, thanks.
There's still others. There's still other. Apparently, that Bruce Lee, the Man, the Legend, or whatever it's called. That's you can watch that in Cantonese as well. Apparently,
Nice.
you can like check. I'll need to double check that, but I'm sure it said you can like change the because they've just went all out with this box set. You can, but the cool thing is everything's original mono. They've not added any like extras like soundtrack, but I don't think they're known for doing that. I think they're
Yeah.
known for trying to keep everything original.
Yeah, I'm really proud of them for that.
But yeah, I'll give you a message later. I'll message you
Yeah.
later on.
Maybe next time we can take a look at the other disc with Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
Yeah, if you like, yeah.
Well, thank you for doing this with me, Dean.
Yeah, no worries, man. I've not checked out. Well, I've checked out majority of it, but there's still a few things I've not seen on it. I've seen everything on the Fist of Fury disc now. I've seen everything on mostly. Oh, actually, no, I fell asleep. There was a documentary on this. Or was it on? It might have been The Way of the Dragon disc. There's a documentary called Way of the Camera. It just basically speaks about like how. So I can't remember. At some point, somebody was talking about none of it was handheld. Like Bruce wanted to do some handheld stuff, and there wasn't much of it in the movie because I think it was a Japanese photographer who came in and
Actually,
basically said to him,
actually,
"Don't do it like that."
actually, when Bruce Lee was walking in the Coliseum, like there was some you
That's a
can tell.
handheld shot, yeah.
Yeah.
But like this, apparently, this Japanese photographer came in and said to Bruce, like, do the majority of the shots, like, still if you can, It's better. He said this Japanese photographer. I don't know what happened to the first photographer, but he got this old school Japanese guy, and he basically said to Bruce, like, yeah, he said, do your movie like this. He's like, keep it still. It could have been a very different film. It'd have been more authentic if it was handheld, but yeah, I like it with the shots he used and everything. It's cut pretty well together. I wish there was more stuff behind the scenes with that. Like Bruce, could you imagine, like, in a couple of years to find Bruce recorded in the studio?
I think Robert Lee has outtakes from The Way of the Dragon. I think. I mean, he mentioned that he was going to put something together to show all of that, or somebody. Yeah, hopefully somebody will release that. I would love to see outtakes of The Way of the Dragon.
Yeah, outtakes would be good. I don't know if Bruce, whatever happened to all that, if he kept hold of it all. So.
And knowing him, he documented everything, so I'm sure he had something like even like camcorder footage.
I wonder if Bruce will. I wonder if he would have went back to that character.
Oh, I'm sure he would. I would have loved to see him do that.
Second one.
Yeah, where he goes to San Francisco.
Yeah. Helping another family member out or something. Oh. Well, yeah, I'll message you later.
Okay.
All right. I'll see you later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye.